The Riverside County Fair and National Date Festival would be opening tomorrow in a normal year. It was set to be the 75th anniversary of the fair.
A big celebration of that anniversary will now have to wait until next year because of the coronavirus pandemic. Tonight, we're taking a look at the future of the Date Festival in an I-Team investigation with some county supervisors raising questions about funding.
Come on in.
The rides, the food from roasted pork to deep-fried Snickers bars, the animals. Not this year. The fairgrounds are quiet because of the coronavirus, and some county supervisors are now questioning the future of the event.
I've kind of reached my limit on continuing to fund the Date Festival at such dramatic losses every year.
Local supervisor Manuel Perez says his colleagues have it wrong.
We were able to have a net gain of close to $200,000. And so it pays for itself.
So why the discrepancy? Budget numbers show the National Date Festival operating at a loss of nearly $424,000 so far this fiscal year. Supervisor Perez argues that the loss is for the maintenance of the 110-acre fairgrounds.
And once again, the National Date Festival, we have a net gain in revenues. It's not a money loser. When we talk about the operations and maintenance of the fairground site as a whole, well, that's what we got to work on.
Expenses include utilities, security, insurance, landscaping, and more. This year, the property has been used for coronavirus testing to set up a potential overflow field hospital and now a vaccination clinic. But those uses won't pay for the fairgrounds that supervisors approved $1.6 million for in November. And money isn't the only concern from the other supervisors.
Almost 2 million residents in Riverside County live in western Riverside County. And we are asking of them to attend the county fair, to drive all the way out to the east end of the Coachella Valley.
Another argued.
It's usually more centric in the Coachella Valley area.
Is there an East County, West County tug of war?
I wouldn't say a tug of war. It's always about trying to think about how we can make things happen in an equitable way.
Would outsourcing the festival to another organization work? Perez says there's been interest from Spotlight 29.
There is a group of folks that want to have a festival of sorts on a tribal government, on tribal land. We can't stop them from doing it. And if they so choose to do that, that is up to them. But the actual National Date Festival, the moniker of the National Date Festival, that is always going to be here on this site.
Another consideration is the fair's history and meaning to the valley.
For me and for our constituency here, we'd rather make sure that we have the National Date Festival here on an ongoing basis, because after all, 75 years of history and of culture, there is an identity here.
That identity celebrates the valley's agricultural history by highlighting the date that came to the area from Africa and the Middle East around the turn of the last century. So Queen Scheherazade and her court, the fairgrounds architecture, it all celebrates that history. Indio Mayor Elaine Holmes says it's important to her city's identity.
This is wonderful for the city of Indio. We so enjoy the energy and the vibe that comes out of this fair and subsequent the festival around that. We truly do.
Holmes will miss the President's Day Parade that was also part of the excitement of Fair Week. The key to long-term success and keeping the National Date Festival right where it is will be making the fairgrounds a success the other 50 weeks out of the year.
And that's why we had to get creative to think about other programming, other services, and think about how we can work with others outside of the county to make sure that we raise revenues.
Now, I reached out to the 29 Palms Band of Mission Indians about any plans involving Spotlight 29 and was told there's no comment right now. Again, without coronavirus, the 75th anniversary of the Riverside County Fair and National Date Festival would have been opening tomorrow. Instead, there will be virtual content posted on the Date Festival's website. You can find a link to that now on our website, KESQ.com.
Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist